Good morning, guys, and it's Thursday morning. I am still in 1 Corinthians chapter 13, the love chapter, and I'm going to be reading from verse 4, where it says, "Love is patient and kind. Love is not jealous or boastful or proud or rude. It does not demand its own way. It is not irritable and keeps no record of being wrong. It does not rejoice about injustice, but rejoices whenever the truth wins out. Love never gives up, never loses faith, is always hopeful, and endures throughout every circumstance." You know, it's funny, whenever I read this scripture here and they go into detail about what love is, because a lot of them means, "Oh, I love you, I love you, I love you." One time I was standing on the road and this guy walked over like, and just like, "Hi, good day, I love you." And I'm thinking like, yeah, right. You know, you haven't even really met me, but you say, "I love you." It's not that you can't love somebody if you haven't really had. It's difficult to really love somebody that you haven't to really truly love in the true sense of the word. I mean, God's love is so much that in spite of not, he loved and gave himself so that it will allow us to get to know him and to partake in his love. And the love that we can have for each other is a bit different because it demands that we have an experience, go through certain circumstances and endure. As they say, it endures all things. Whenever I read this, I begin to understand the tall order that it is. That it's difficult for us to measure up to God kind of love, but we got to keep trying. Kind, patient. A lot of times we get impatient with what we may call our loved ones, our spouses, our children. You get impatient when they're not doing the things that you want them to do. You get impatient when they're not, reciprocating the love that you're giving them, when they're not showing concern, when they're not showing kindness. And they say it's not jealous or boastful. You're supposed to be able to see your loved ones blossom and bloom and not become jealous and all these things. It's not rude, it's not proud, And one of the things I want to zero, it's not irritable, it does not keep any record of wrong. The person come and they're genuine and they want your forgiveness. You're supposed to be able to give that forgiveness and not keep a record of that wrong. You better know, I gotta remember this, and it never gives up. These days there are a lot of split relationships between siblings and family members and spouses. And people say, "Oh, I love you, but I can't live with you anymore." And the reality is that love goes beyond that. It doesn't give up, it never loses hope. It never loses faith. Love in the true sense of the word tries its best to endure and still remain faithful, giving. And sometimes you give knowing that they may not be able to give back in the same way. But mostly what God is trying to show us that as we love in its true sense, it is difficult not for it to come back to you. Because when somebody realizes you're always patient with me, you're always kind, when that knowledge settles in, this person forgives me, this person never gave up on me, there come a time when they begin to realize, like, you know what, and they begin to understand and return that love. It comes back to you the same way when we begin to understand the fullness of God's love. The only thing we can do is return his love and serve him and do the things that please him, because we begin to understand how much he loves us. And as I say, we're supposed to love those around us to the point that they begin to understand your love, and then love becomes a part of them. It permeates. There's a song we used to sing as a child: "Love's not love until you give it away. It comes right back to you." And that's what I want to encourage us today as we go through it. It's a tall order, but we can make steps towards really loving the way God says we should love, and see it come back eventually to us. All right, so that's my little encouragement to you today. Have a thoughtful Thursday. Think about a lot that I've said, And remember, He loves you and I do too. Be blessed.